I was beginning to feel really overwhelmed by everything. And I was beginning to feel this real pressure about who I was in front of everybody. I can't change because of the people around me. Yeah, this is a really interesting one, and it is definitely one that I can completely relate to. I remember coming back from my very first meditation retreat where I had spent, I think it was 6 days learning how to meditate. It was the very first time. And one of those days, we basically had a 24-hour period where we spent the whole period in silence. But to be honest, there was very little talking anyway in the retreat. We were encouraged to eat our meals in silence. And the reason I had gone was because I was beginning to feel really overwhelmed by everything. And I was beginning to feel this real pressure about who I was in front of everybody. I felt like I had to be this very specific person, and I was really tired of being that person. So what happened was, when I got back from the meditation retreat, I remember there was a long train journey, which I think took at least a couple of hours. And I was thinking, I basically just want to shut up. And I thought, how can I get back home and have all my friends around me and all my family around me and just suddenly shut up? They're going to be like, oh, what's wrong? You're being really quiet. Or like, oh, you don't seem to be your usual chatty self. The talking for me had been there for so long. I'd been helping people out, I'd been disarming conflict, I'd been giving advice. I'd just been talking non-stop because I felt awkward or uncomfortable in social situations. How could I just shut up? But that was what I really wanted to do. I really wanted to explore what it was like to go visit a friend and have them open the door and not have to start talking straight away. And I thought, it's going to be impossible. People aren't going to let me do it. They're going to be bugging me. They're going to be saying, hey, you know, what's happened to Gabs? Fun, chatty Gabs. And I just thought it wasn't going to happen. So I can completely relate to people saying, look, I can't be this new person because like everyone's going to notice and they're going to wonder what's happened to me. So how did I begin to make that shift? I began to notice that the more comfortable I felt with not saying anything, the more it was accepted. Like if I felt uncomfortable about being silent, people would pick up on that and they'd say, are you okay? But if I was just sitting there in a group of people and I was just lost to my thoughts, or I was just really observing them talking, generally people got the vibe that I was really content. And what I began to notice when I really began to sink into being silent, people would say, huh, you seem happier. Like, I always thought you were happy, but now that I see you now, you seem even happier. And then I was beginning to be able to share that and say, yeah, you know what, I am. I'm spending a lot more time just looking at things. I'm spending a lot more time just listening. And things felt more meaningful. Okay, so I realize this is all incredibly positive, and it's all like, oh yeah, you know, well, it's fine for you. You just wanted to be quiet. You know, I totally want to change the way that I am, or I want to have a completely new relationship with my boyfriend, or I want to be interacting with my mum in a completely different way. So the best way to describe how a shift in this situation can take place is a little bit like your front door key. So imagine your front door key. You've gone to your front door every day, more, you know, maybe 2-3 times a day. You put the key into the lock, you've turned it, and it's worked. Imagine the one day that you come with your key and you put it into the lock and it doesn't work. Are you just going to be like, oh, okay, doesn't work? Or are you going to be like, what the hell? Why is my key not working? And you suddenly get a little bit more aggressive. Like, oh, it's not, you know, it usually works. So when we start to change and we start to make really big shifts, and we start to make big shifts that are going to impact on other people, they become those people with their front door key. So for example, if you have a relationship with someone and that relationship maybe has a narrative of argument, and you get really caught up in that argument, if you want to change and not get drawn in, that other person is going to be like, hey, wait, normally my front door key works. Normally I can get them into an argument really easily. Like, why isn't it working? So they will push with that front door key a little harder. So here's the thing, if it starts to get harder, it means you're on the right track. It means that that front door key is no longer working for that other person. So it's the moment not to give up. It's the moment that they've sensed a shift, and if you can just hold out, eventually they'll go, okay, I get it. This key doesn't work anymore. Because if this key doesn't work for them, they're going to have to change it. So it's about holding out and knowing that when it starts to get aggressive or pushy or challenging, it's essentially the feedback to say you must be doing things differently because the response that you're getting is different. So just hold out and know that eventually they're going to look at the key, they're going to toss it away, and they're going to say, do you know what? I'm going to go and get another key cut. I'm going to get a key cut that works for your new attitude. So if you found that helpful, if you like the way that you feel now, having had this 6 minutes with me, then pass me on to a friend and share that feeling. And I will see you next Monday.